Today's interesting topic, aphasia. Welcome to Logic Medico, where we are understanding the concepts in medicine. So what is this aphasia? Aphasia is an inability or an impaired ability to understand or to produce speech as a result of a brain damage. So let's see, this brain has got four lobes. By the sulci, the four lobes are temporal lobe, this is the occipital lobe, this is the parietal lobe, and this is the frontal lobe. So these are the three main lobes involved in speech areas and aphasia. So I labeled those lobes only, the temporal, parietal and frontal lobe. So what is there in each of these lobes? In the temporal lobe we have the primary auditory cortex, area number 41 and 42, which is involved in the perception of sound wave. The highest center for perception of sound wave is auditory cortex. It is present in temporal lobe. Then next one, Wernicke's area. It is also called a sensory speech area, wherein the spoken language which is heard in the auditory cortex is perceived, is understood, is comprehended in Wernicke's area. So it is a processing center, it is an integration center for auditory inputs. So thereby we understand the known language in Wernicke's area. It is situated in parietal lobe. Next, Broca's area. It is a motor speech area. Area number 44 and 45. Wernicke's area. Some authors tell area number 39, 40. Most authors tell the number is Brodmann's functional area number is 22. So this Broca's motor speech area receives the input from the Wernicke's area and thereby processes the information and responds. It responds to the vagus nerve nucleus present in the brainstem, to be specific medulla oblongata. The vagus nerve from there goes and supplies the larynx. So supplies the larynx of the voice box producing speech or the output. So for example, if someone asks you, hi, how are you? That I, how are you is heard here and it's understood here. Hi, how are you is understood. Oh, he is asking, hi, how are you? Then this will give information to this area, Broca's area. That is, you will respond by telling, hi, I am fine, thank you for asking. The Broca's area will tell that to your vagus nerve. Vagus nerve will go and control your larynx, thereby responding for the same. I hope you understood this. It's very simple. These three areas are interconnected with one another by a bundle of white matter across this lateral sulcus. That white matter is called as uncinate fasciculus. That is also important. So with this basic knowledge, we move on. In the temporal lobe, there are two hemispheres, non-dominant, dominant. Most of us are right-handed, so left hemisphere is dominant hemisphere. So in left-handed person, the right hemisphere will be dominant. So that is the basic idea. So what does these hemispheres do? In a right-handed person, the left hemisphere is dominant and the right hemisphere is non-dominant. So non-dominant hemisphere does the following functions: auditory perception, pitch perception, non-verbal memory, visual memory, balance, smell, because it's involved with limbic system, balance with vestibular system. In the dominant hemisphere, it is concerned mainly with the language. The left hemisphere is concerned with the language, verbal memory. What I am speaking now, you are able to hear that memory. Auditory perception. So, auditory cortex, non-dominant hemisphere mainly involved in receptive aphasia and musical skill will be impaired if at all this auditory cortex is damaged. In the dominant hemisphere, that is left hemisphere, if it is involved, it can result in dyslexia and the verbal memory is impaired and receptive aphasia, of course. Because there is no reception, obviously the person will have aphasia. Next, uncinate fasciculus. If at all the uncinate fasciculus is involved, the jargon aphasia, they will speak something fluently but in an unintelligent jargon manner, like hi, you understand anything? Those are the jargons which only the person knows what it is. Parietal lobe, involvement of the parietal lobe or the Wernicke's area, this particular area, results in receptive aphasia. So understanding is gone, comprehension is gone, auditory comprehension is lost, visual comprehension is lost. The temporal lobe input and the visual input is going to come here. I am able to read this out because of visual comprehension. I am able to hear you telling, sir, I have a doubt. So that is auditory comprehension. If this area is gone, then both auditory and visual inputs to that area and understanding will be gone or lost. Naming of the objects also is defective. Repetition of the sentence is also problematic. Whatever you tell, the person will not be able to repeat the same. Frontal lobe, this lobe, frontal lobe, involvement of the frontal lobe means Broca's area gets involved. Especially a dominant hemisphere lesion can result in expressive aphasia, where the person is not able to express in a fluent manner. Instead, they are hesitant, distorted speech with very good understanding is there. So this is a classification of aphasia in a very broad manner. Non-fluent and fluent. Non-fluent are global, expressive, transcortical, mixed, non-fluent. Fluent are receptive, transcortical, conductive, and anomic. I will do the 5 major types of aphasia: Broca's aphasia, Wernicke's aphasia, global aphasia, anomic aphasia, primary progressive aphasia. In next 4 minutes, I will finish these types of aphasia. So what is Broca's aphasia? As the name suggests, involvement of Broca's area number 44 and 45 in the frontal lobe results in Broca's aphasia. This area gets involved. So in this aphasia, the person is able to hear you. Is able to understand. But since this area is damaged, he is not able to bring about the motor output. That's what is written here. So partial loss of the ability to produce the language, the spoken, manual or written language, because the motor output is affected. That output can be called as expressive. So expressive aphasia. So they will have more efforts to express. So that is about Broca's aphasia, where the comprehension and the hearing receptive ability is intact. So damage to this area, Broca's area, results in expressive aphasia. Come to Wernicke's aphasia. Obviously, damage to the Wernicke's area results in Wernicke's aphasia, where the receptive auditory cortex is intact, motor, that is output component, is intact, but understanding is gone. So if you ask one thing, hi, how are you? The person will respond something else. Yeah, I had bath, I went here, I went there. He will not respond to the question what you asked. So he is having a fluent speech, but irrelevant talk will be there. So all the persons around him will go crazy. Okay. So Wernicke's aphasia is the most common type of fluent aphasia. This is a happy aphasia actually, where the person comprehension is lost. He is speaking irrelevant to the questions asked to him. That's called as Wernicke's aphasia, area number 22 or 3940 according to some authors, involving Wernicke's area and parietal lobe. Next, coming to the global aphasia. As the name suggests, global means involvement of majority of the area. In addition to Wernicke's area, the uncinate fasciculus also is involved. So in this, the person has got damage to the dominant hemisphere. In this, the person will have non-fluent aphasia. His receptive and expressive both are lost, and his comprehension is gone. Both from the auditory input and the visual input will be lost. Therefore, it's called global. Neither you can hear properly and respond, nor you can see some words and respond, nor he is able to fluently speak. That's why it's called as global aphasia. So damage is there in multiple places. Next, coming to anomic aphasia. I want they know what to tell, but that particular name they have forgotten, the A for apple, what they read in the first LKG, first standard, first fruit, that they would have forgotten. So naming deficit will be there. It's a fluent, comprehension, understanding is intact, able to repeat. The empty speech will be there because here and there fill in the blanks will be there. Paraphasia, some other new words are added. Circumlocution will be there. Some person may also have dysnomia, meaning instead of apple they metal anad and something, some other new word, difficult word they put off in that area. So there is one more interesting syndrome, Gerstmann syndrome. Lesion in the angular gyrus can result in Gerstmann syndrome where there is dysnomia, difficulty in naming will be there. Next, the fifth variety is primary progressive aphasia. The symptoms of primary progressive aphasia is mainly of the thinking ability of the patient. So in primary progressive aphasia, thinking ability will be gone. Relative cortical atrophy is seen. So thereby that particular speech area atrophied. So there are various types, three types of families in primary progressive aphasia. One of the most common is Alzheimer's disease, the old age disease which most of us know, where the diffuse cerebral cortex atrophy will be there. The second variety is frontotemporal lobar degeneration involving TAU zone. Don't worry about that. The third family is frontotemporal, again frontal lobe and temporal lobe involvement, lobar degeneration, but this is involving TDP43. Don't worry about that. Just remember two disease name, Alzheimer's disease and frontotemporal lobar degeneration. 3 points to correctly categorize the aphasia includes the fluency, comprehension and repetition. So either the answer for these three should be yes or no based on the permutation combination. These are the classification of aphasia. It appears scary, but in 2 minutes I'll make it as simple as possible. You have to ask these three questions in this order only: fluency of the patient, comprehension and repetition. If for all the three, if the answer is yes, everything they are comprehending, their fluency is there, repetition is there, and the answer will be anomia. For all the three the answer is no, means that means global aphasia. Global aphasia, all the three answer is no. First two questions the answer is yes, fluency and comprehension, but repetition is no. Then it is conduction aphasia, where they are not able to repeat what the person has been told to repeat. The first two questions are no, but the next question is yes, they are only able to repeat. It's transcortical mixed, like a newborn child only able to repeat. Not exactly newborn, 1 year old child, sorry. Next, if the fluency is there, comprehension is not there, understanding is not there, but repetition is possible, that is transcortical. Comprehension also is not there, repetition also is not possible, then it's Wernicke's. Okay, but the fluency is there, that means the motor cortex is involved. Normal, it's intact. If the fluency itself is gone, but comprehension is present and repetition is present, then transcortical motor. If repetition also is gone, then it is Broca's, because the motor cortex is gone. Obviously the fluency is gone when the motor cortex is gone. So see how simple it is. I hope you understood these types of aphasia. Wernicke's, major one are Wernicke's, Broca's, global aphasia. In Wernicke's aphasia, understanding is gone. And understanding is gone, obviously the repetition will not be there. Person is highly fluent and he will speak irrelevant to the question asked. That's Wernicke's. In Broca's, understanding is 100% there, but fluency is gone. You will not be able to have a fluent speech. You will have a distorted, hesitant, difficult speech. So that is Broca's. The repetition will be gone, because Broca's, they are not that fluent, so they can't repeat as you do so. Global, in which all the three components are gone, that's why it's called global. The entire globe, consider the brain as to be the globe. So all the areas are involved. Comprehension is gone, auditory input is gone, visual input is gone, and motor fluency is also gone. So repetition also not possible. So fluency, comprehension and repetition, all the three are gone, means it's global. Okay, so I hope you understood the types of aphasia. Kindly like and share this video with your family and friends. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and the bell icon to get the latest notification of the videos which we upload. Thank you for watching and learning from Logic Medico. Have a good day. Bye.